Yo, what's up? This is your boy Shinra coming at you with a review video. I messed up on my one yesterday. This is a re-upload, so I'm kind of sorry about that. And I just wanted to give you the right information about the review and what I was reviewing. It was an anime. It was called Tokyo Ghoul. I'm trying to get some new content on my channel. I want to make this right. I'm sorry that I screwed up, but let's get right into this review. So, this anime is about a kid named Kaneki. Kaneki grew up. He was one of those kids that all by himself reading books at school and all that crap. And he had a new student came to the school, and it was this boy. And the kid came up, talked to Kaneki, and said, "Why are you reading out here by yourself?" He was like, "Let's go ahead and be friends, since I'm new to the school." So they're like, "All right, let's be friends." So they were friends from a young age, going up into, I think they're in high school right now. So moving up to episode 1, I'm going to do episode 1 and 2. I'm sorry, but these are just spoilers. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about 1 and 2. So episode 1, Kaneki goes on a date with this girl named Riz, or Riz, yeah, it's Riz. So he goes on a date with her. They go out, they do their thing, and he's walking the girl home. So as he's walking the girl home, she says, "Oh, let's go down here," because he was gonna let her walk down the road and go by herself, but she said, "Can you walk me to my house?" So they're going down there. There's a construction site nearby, and there's no pedestrians, nobody in sight. So they're sitting there, and she happens to be a ghoul. A ghoul is a creature, not really a creature. A ghoul is a human who has to feed on other humans in order to survive. So she decided to attack Kaneki and try and feed off of him. So she just took a piece out of his shoulder blade and tried to eat him. So after they're going in that, he's trying to run away and escape, and she grabs him by his foot. She has some kind of blood power. If you ever seen Dead Man Wonderland, you know what I'm talking about. How he had the blood bullet going like that, blood bullet come on out. So yeah, that it's kind of like that. It's made by the same people, I believe. But yeah, she grabbed him, threw him around, and all kinds of crap. The kid's bleeding, kind of he's sitting there bleeding. He's kind of unconscious, don't know what's going on. So they haven't really showed a hero at this point in the story. So they're at the construction site, and you start seeing it starts showing a frame where, not really a frame, but like a clip where the ropes start getting torn apart at the top of the construction site, and pillars just fall down on Riz, and she gets killed. So as Kaneki's sitting there, he gets picked up and goes to the hospital. As he's at the hospital, he's sitting there. God, my neck started to hurt. I had to do a little flicker. But his neck, as he's at the hospital, he hears the doctor saying, "We need to give him a transplant." They said, "Who has the organ that he needs?" And it happened to be the girl named Riz that he was on a date with. But he doesn't, I think he knew that, but whatever. He got the organ by Riz, and she was a ghoul. So as he got the organ put into, I think it was right here in his shoulder blade. I don't know what really part she took out of his body, but he got the transplant. So he's sitting there, and he develops the eye that the ghouls get when they need to feed. So he's sitting there, and he starts to notice he feels a little bit different. So he gets the release to go home, and as he's walking home, he his friend that he's known all his life throughout kindergarten, high school, and all that stuff. His friend leaves him all of his favorite food at his house. He's like, "Go ahead and eat your favorite food, dude. I got it at your house, and I hope you enjoy it." So Kaneki's sitting there in the dark watching the news, and they talking about ghouls. So they're like, um, ghouls start to have like they don't have taste when they eat. So Kaneki's sitting there like, okay, and you start to develop a urge to eat human flesh, and that's what Kaneki started to develop. He started to have that urge, and it was a weird urge to him. So he was feeling weird, and he was starting to panic. So after he heard that the food has no taste and makes you throw up, he started to go to the bag of food, start eating all the food that he could all the food that he loved, and it had no taste and made him throw up. So As he's doing that, I think it's like the next day or next night, he starts to run around into the city and tries to find somebody to feed on, because ghouls need to feed on people in order to survive, like I said, and they only need to feed every 1 to 2 months. So he's going around and he runs into a ghoul eating another ghoul. So he's sitting there and he's like, okay, hope he lets me feed with him. And ghouls have territories. I'm not sure who owns what territory yet. They haven't really gotten into that, but ghouls have their own territory. So he was in another ghoul's territory, and the ghoul that was feeding on another ghoul. That one dude got up and kicked the living crap out of him, and went up to Kaneki and pinned him against the wall. He was like, "You're in my territory" and all that crap. So he was like, "Yo, dude, I just came here to feed." And the girl early on in the clip that was working at the shop that him and Riz were at on the date happened to show up and kick that other dude in the face with a grasshopper kick. And she told him to scram, go away. You need to chill. He's new. He don't know what's going on. And so he's sitting there. He's trying to decide if he should feed onto the like dead ghoul. So he needs to feed in order to survive. So he's sitting there, and he's half human, half ghoul. So his human self is telling him it's wrong to eat this, and I don't want to be. I want to be human. I don't want to be a ghoul. And the ghoul side is like saying that you need to eat to survive. So his body's pulling him both ways, and he really doesn't know what's going on. So the chick that he saw at the waiter at the waitress at that the at the diner that he was at with the girl, she picked up a big chunk of that, shoved it down his throat. So that was the first episode. The second episode, it started off with that last clip that's from the first episode. So they're doing that, and they start talking about more stuff about the ghoul and everything. So as he's trying to learn how to live life as a ghoul, trying to learn how to survive, he knows he has to eat, and he's trying to learn how to blend in with society and how to be recognized as a human. So as Kaneki goes back to school, he has to pick up all his work, and the guy that pinned him up happens to be a teacher. And so him and his friend, Kaneki and his friend, are walking with the teacher, and the teacher's ghoul. So they're walking with the teacher, and the teacher wanted him to pick up something at his house, like the missing word that Kaneki was missing from him being in the hospital. So they're going, and he kicks Kaneki's friend all the way down the alley and pins up Kaneki again. And he's like, "Dude, let's see what you got." And they start battling. Kaneki finally, he okay, I'm sorry, but he went over to his friend. He was trying to decide to eat him or not, and he went on a full-out brawl with the teacher. He developed some power. He developed the same power that Riz had, because he has Riz's transplant in him. So I guess he has Riz's cells and all that kind of crap into him. And you see her appear behind him, start talking to him like she's kind of like his conscience in the story. So they're sitting there, and she's trying to decide to eat him. The girl from the diner, the waitress, comes up and says, "So are you going to eat him or not?" He's debating whether he should or not, and um, basically after that, he ends up at her house. He was knocked out and had no idea what was going on. His friend's still alive. He did not eat him, but there is one thing that came out of this that was really good. Kaneki found out that he can blend into society just by drinking coffee that satisfies ghouls also. That's the only thing that ghouls can taste is coffee. So he starts to drink coffee. He notices ghouls that like to have coffee and all that kind of stuff. And that was basically the last part that I remember of episode 2. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it was better than one I put out yesterday or 2 days ago. It sucked, and this one might have sucked too, but I'm getting better. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm outie.